Welcome to Kump.
$100 Kumps. 100 Kumps.
Okay, so that's...
What happened there?
Yeah, well, I made that nice little intro for our 100th episode. I should have a little audio, like, cheering sound effect.
Yeah.
Just cheer when I say 100th episode.
Okay.
100th episode.
Woo!
Yeah, but I made this. You were getting a little frustrated. Like, what the hell are you doing? You thought I was just making beats
I was sitting here.
in the studio by yourself.
Yeah.
I didn't tell
All
you I was
dressed
making.
up with my sparkling wine.
And your lovely dress. Yeah,
Thank you.
we can't call it champagne because I'm too cheap.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you I was making a special beat. I went to export the beat that I made, and it crashed. I didn't save it. So let's play it again so people can really appreciate the nuance.
I think it's great as is.
Yeah, well, this is the way Kump should be.
It ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
100 Kumps. 100 Kumps.
100 Kumps. 100 Kumps. That's kind of how it was going. It was like there's one more thing, and then the drums drop out, and the bass drops out, and
That
it's
sounds
just-
like it would have been great.
it felt so momentous. And then, but much like the best laid plans of people who don't want war, didn't go as planned. Or is that too flippant? Am I being flippant about war? It is the 100th episode. We should toast the 100th episode.
100 episodes.
Thank you to everyone who's been here since the beginning. Not that many, but there's a lot of people came along the way. And honestly, the beginning was we went through a lot of fate. You weren't always next to me for them.
Yeah.
It's considerably better now. A lot of it was spent with me in a closet, not like literally in the closet.
Yeah, we were listening to an old episode the other day where it's literally just like, Lucie's sleeping, so I'm in the closet.
Right. it was, and then then it was Drunk Kump, which was episode 24.
Drunk Kump, that's right.
Which you had gone to work and I called in sick, and I was just drunkenly just on the bed babbling. A lot of these things were incoherent, and then I started doing the ones. Then there was like the other studio that we had set up. Was me by myself, and that was the gray background, and then there was me by the computer with the weird painting background, and just using my phone to record video. And then finally, about a year ago, we started this setup, and we've seen a marked improvement in quality, I think.
Yeah.
And people are just getting along for the Kump ride. So we didn't make a retrospective video because really, let's not make too big of a deal of this.
Yeah, well, I feel like that would be kind of a cop out anyway.
Yeah.
But thanks for making it to 100 episodes. Here's recycled
Well,
stuff
we could have done a little thing to like 525,600 minutes as a montage of. I do feel a little guilty that it took me this long to get to 100. There were some gaps in there of time. But whatever. I mean, what would the montage be like? It would just be me like just yelling and spitting, and you just kind of like looking cute and just be accidentally spitting on you. It's not suited for a montage.
No,
And also, it's not appropriate. We already have champagne in the middle of a war. It looks bad enough.
that's true.
But we are going to drink. Or not champagne. To the Ukrainian troops. Is that offensive?
To the Ukrainian
I feel like
troops.
anything we do to commemorate anything is going to be like, no one wants ours.
Anything we do while we're just sitting here enjoying wine nothing we say is gonna sound sincere.
We are who were the people the Russian, like the Soviets or whatever, the Bolsheviks killed? The troglodytes or what?
Isn't that some kind of? I thought that was some kind of fossil term.
That might be the stalagmites. We're the stalagmites.
They killed the stalagmites.
We're gonna be killed along with the Anna Karenina. Oh no! Who went to Anastasia? Who was Anna Karenina?
Well, Anna Karenina is a Tolstoy.
So fake person.
Person.
A
Yeah.
fake person.
She's fictional.
Fictional. Well, same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, fake.
Fictional and dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she died?
Yeah, she throws herself in front of a train.
Well, that seems fruitless. Does it end a war?
Look, I don't think it's exactly like I don't think that it's about her, taking life by the horns or anything.
Why didn't she talk to Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
Or Gary Vee or one of these life coaches?
It's too bad they weren't around back
Seize the day.
then. An imperial
Carpe
Russia.
diem. Carpe diem, right? Don't jump in front of a train. So I guess we should transition from this nice champagne to talking about. Is it the elephant in the room? Is that almost too like?
I don't know. I don't know if people want us to talk about it or don't want us to talk about
We're
it.
at
Maybe
war.
we're the only people not talking about it, but that's about to end.
That's because we haven't recorded since it happened.
Yeah, that's true.
You thought there was radio silence, but we just didn't get around to doing a podcast. Welcome. Ukraine's at war. It's a war. I want to get right off the bat that we are against countries invading other countries. Full stop, pretty much. I mean, I'm not saying D-Day was a problem, but we're against it, which I think has to be said weirdly in for this context, because a lot of people out there are. You know how cynical I can be, and how cynical I think you are. Mm-hmm. I don't know to what extent went down in Ukraine, and I'm just saying, like, I'm not the idea that you can't be like you can think the CIA does things. They probably do. They're probably involved somewhere, but I don't know. But it's not cool to go invade someone. It's just not. I know people might, call us cucks or call us cowards for not supporting Putin.
Yeah.
But I don't support Putin. I don't, it's not right. It's not right to invade. I think, Ukraine, people saying, oh, they're just this and that. I didn't want to get into it because it's like, it's hard to pin down what's going on. Also, the coverage of the war, I'm always, at this day and age, skeptical of any kind of coverage, right? Mainstream media coverage of war. It seems one-sided, which it should be, I think, because you shouldn't invade a country. But yeah, it's not that I'm not skeptical of, do certain people want a certain thing? I don't know. But don't invade anyone. And I bring this up in the context of like, even if you're opposed to invading Iraq, when the United States invaded Iraq, perhaps you should also be against the invasion of the Ukraine. I don't understand how, like, I pointed out, like, to you, for instance, when we're watching TV, and like I pointed out, like, on Twitter at one point, people, oh, you're making Russian propaganda because you're kind of alluding to the Iraq war. No. We shouldn't have invaded Iraq, and Putin shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Well, we shouldn't. Like, I'm against the war in Iraq, so therefore you get a pass. Right. It is odd for certain people to be drawing the lines that they are. I know, like, realpolitik, as Henry Kissinger would say. Did Henry Kissinger actually say realpolitik?
I don't know.
Or is that just a term they used for him?
I don't know. Is he actually the one it was even created for? I
think it's attributed to him.
But maybe not.
Look it up. Look up realpolitik and see if Henry Kissinger's German face comes up. The German?
Yeah, I mean, there's like black and white pictures here and shit. So I don't think it's just Kissinger.
I've always learned about it from Kissinger, but I don't know if he ever used a trendy word like that. Realpolitik. Anyway, what's going on?
For some reason, every time I try to click on the Wikipedia, the Google brings up this Naacp window where it's like, what do you want to report this website for?
Is this misinformation? What are you getting at? What don't you like about this? You go on like Nickelodeon. I go on a website to go find vintage cans of Nickelodeon Gak, that slime toy they used to sell, and it's like, is this Gak misinformation? Are they actually giving you the Gak? What is Gak? Like,
Gak is not a real substance.
I'd love it if it just became like the NSA, just be like asking you questions. So what's this website about? Are these guys cool? Should we be looking into them? Like just like it's like a chat window. Like you go on like bonappetit.com and like, how diverse is this website? Are they have enough diverse authentic recipes? what's going on here? Who should we cancel? And it's like, who is this? Like, and it's like Oprah Winfrey, and then it shuts off.
Do you see a lot of writers with white names using turmeric in their recipes?
Is that wrong? You can't use turmeric anymore?
Well, I think it's like I don't know. I can't take an interest in this stuff, so I don't know what the controversy is. But I have heard there's a controversy sometimes about like white New York Times recipe makers.
Right.
They're never even chefs. Like they're just like,
Yeah.
I make asparagus at home.
Right.
Watch me make asparagus. And it's like
it's like an ASMR video.
Right. Yeah. It's like sometimes they'll use some kind of recipe that's like Indian or something, but they'll kind of act like they pulled it out of their ass, like they invented it.
Right.
And it's like, I could see why people wouldn't like, I don't care, but I could see why people wouldn't like it.
Yeah, like, you're coming. I'm the editor of the new Bon Appetit. Pitch me a recipe.
Hey, I got this new recipe. It's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who are you?
I'm.
Are you a chef?
I'm Annabelle Jenkinson. I'm your.
Very not diverse name.
I'm your food editor.
Right. So you basically just like talk to chefs and. You don't.
Oh no! I never talk to chefs.
So you don't even talk to them.
No.
So what do
really.
you do here? Do you just kind of like make cue sheets?
Like I'll.
You work in Excel spreadsheets all day.
I mean, not exactly. I'll get like if there's if I'm talking to like a printmaker around here, like and they go
right, but not a food supplier is my point.
Well, no,
you're not a chef.
No, well, I'm not a chef.
All right, so what do you got?
But the people I talk to and recruit for the food section of the New York Times also aren't chefs.
Wait, so are you pitching yourself or are you pitching to other people? This improv is going off the rails. I don't think we're on the same page. I thought you were pitching me.
I have an idea for a recipe.
Okay.
It's basically we take garbanzo beans.
Mm.
Yeah.
Garbanzo. Where is that from?
Why
don't you stick to broiled chicken? That seems like more your speed. How about some broiled chicken and maybe some mayonnaise? Perhaps a cucumber, I think.
I could peel a cucumber.
Yeah, I bet you could. Why don't you peel a cucumber and shut the fuck up?
Put some dill on it.
Dill, we might get a little spicy here.
Okay.
Dill might be okay. I'll have to look into it. This one went off the rails.
I'll just take a cucumber and I'll peel it.
I don't like this garbanzo thing you're going with. I think you're writing checks at your.
I can stick a whole orange in my mouth.
Ooh, all right, this is you getting a promotion. Welcome to the show. That was a weird impression.
Yeah, it was.
But the point is, you should oppose both invasions.
Yeah, totally.
Speaking of that, I have this quote I want to read to you. It's a quote from someone who's talking about because Ukraine's doing well in the war. What's going on? What are you laughing about?
No, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
What are you laughing about? What's so funny? I got pulled up anyway.
No, just you being like the voice of reason here is funny.
Oh.
Your way of being the voice of reason is funny.
Okay, well, thank you.
All invasions are bad.
I thought that one without saying. But, okay, because I guess to set this up, Ukraine has done pretty well so far. People thought Russia was going to just, stomp all over them. And they've been fighting fiercely. Yeah. And Zelensky is there with his troops, they say.
On the front lines.
That's what they say.
Supposedly.
Yeah. I mean... I don't know. You can't believe anything anymore. We're in an age where it's like I'm watching Twitter and it's like all these like Zelensky pictures are like of him last year, like doing inspections. Or, I'm like, maybe that's true. I don't know. I'm just going with the idea. I think don't invade Ukraine.
Well, yeah, that's like there's levels to it. Like
yeah.
I don't think you need to be a genius to be like Russia invading Ukraine probably isn't great for a lot of people. Like
the Ukrainians.
Right. Intuitively, you could say that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you don't actually need to know that much about it. Even. Like, it's like...
I'm not. We did episode 2 or 3 weeks ago where I was like, is this because of ports?
But then I'm like, right? But then on the other hand, it's like, we know anybody who's like, who's kind of, it wasn't an idiot, knows like, it's like, yeah, we're on the side of like independent Ukraine. So like any kind of propaganda that comes out of Ukraine, we're not gonna filter it. We're just gonna be like, oh yeah, let that through.
Right. Well,
like,
you mean the U.S. You mean no?
Yeah, the U.S. media. Or
right.
Whatever. Like they're gonna. Be like,
we're sensitive to propaganda.
Sure. He's fighting on the front lines. Sure.
Right. And like we're sensitive to propaganda of all kinds. So and you end up you call that one piece of propaganda here and there, and people are like, oh, you're pro Putin. And I'm like, no, I'm clearly not.
Yeah.
But Ukraine's doing better than people thought, and Russia's having some issues. Mm-hmm. Not steamrolling over them. So there's this quote. Vladimir Putin expected an easy win here. He thought he would waltz into the capital, into Kiev. In his own delusional rendering of history, Ukrainians and Russians are the same, and he would overthrow his government and might even be welcomed as a liberator. Might even be welcomed as a liberator. And the implication being that he's not being.
Right.
And that it's just like, isn't that interesting?
He's delusional here.
Right, which is an interesting
he's
quote.
He's getting himself into a quagmire.
Seems like a fair quote. Yeah, it's a quote about a person getting themselves into a quagmire.
Could turn into like an endless war.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. And and the folly of that.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting point to make.
And even if they depose this leader Zelensky,
right?
Like maybe there will be a bunch of factions that pop up that he can't control.
Sure. What makes this all the more interesting is who do you think gave that quote? Do you know?
Oh, probably someone who
has no blood in their hands.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's someone who has an objective historical background. Their history is nothing that negates this statement.
I would assume it's
Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice. I mean, that's what I'm talking. Like can we not call bull? I'm reading the article, and like the article, and you would think at some point in the article to go, look, in all fairness, or editorial note, in all fairness, Condoleezza Rice did spearhead a war that was very similar dynamic to what she's describing. That doesn't change the validity of what she's saying, but editorial find it interesting. Nothing in the article. That's where you get which doesn't mean that we should invade Ukraine. That's the thing. Why can't anyone just have a multi-threaded approach to this? Like, don't let Condoleezza Rice just shoot her mouth off to the news and no one calls her out, and don't invade Ukraine. Why are these two things mutually exclusive? Frustrating, to say the least.
There wasn't any there's no way the quote ends with like what we did in Iraq.
Which I learned the hard way with my hubris and foolhardiness.
But in my defense, I did not know who Osama bin Laden was before 9/11.
Which she did.
Yeah,
that's a joke.
Yeah,
that's the joke. But I mean, is that only in the Vice movie, the Vice, the Adam McKay movie?
Yeah, and I didn't even get that far. I turned off the movie.
I love The Big Short.
I just heard it from you.
Did not like the movie Vice with Cheney. At one point, she's going like, "Who is 9/11? Who is this guy Bin Laden?" When one of the most famous gotcha polls of the whole era was when she was we didn't know he was going to plan on striking, all throughout the summer. Okay, what was that report that was on your desk since July? Oh, Bin Laden determined to strike inside the United States. Yeah, but we didn't know. So anyway, we're getting off on a rant. Not the most trustworthy woman. Not the most, not the person it's like picking a pedophile to talk about why you shouldn't be a pedophile. I mean, I guess they have experience, but you'd think at least if a guy got in the news, and I'm not, why is it pedophile? Because that's just the most visceral example of anything. It always boils down to that. But if a guy got in the news and says, "Don't be a pedophile," it's foolhardy, it's wrong, it's morally wrong, it's medically wrong. Don't do it. You don't think the news should say editorial? No, this guy is a pedophile. But they don't. I mean, I don't think that would be the thing to do. But that's what we're living in. I mean, it was bound to happen. I mean, everything is whitewashed. Everything gets recirculated. No one faced any real repercussions for that. I mean, yeah, Iraqis did, but
Yeah.
No one who started the war.
Sure did.
Yeah. So I don't know. That being said, thank you for your service, Condoleezza Rice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Thanks for that insight.
Now, there's in the opening moments of the war, perhaps maybe the next morning, we awoken to a soothing voice, right? A nice, would you call it a siren song? Is that appropriate?
Yeah, I think somebody just felt that that someone needed a better, more like maternal presence in his life.
Yes.
And
don't we all?
She kind of put it upon herself to kind of offer her a little tiny bit of motherly affection to him.
Right.
It just in the
now, is this woman famous?
In case it would change his mind.
Is this woman famous for anything?
I have never heard of her before. She's an actress named AnnaLynne McCord.
Okay.
And
people keep saying, like, alluding to the whole Imagine video, but I've never seen this woman before in my life.
Yeah, no, this is so much sicker than the Imagine video.
This is just like, this is her big break.
Yeah.
So it's, I see, dear, yeah, so let's just.
This is a message for Vladimir Putin.
Okay, let's play this.
Dear President Vladimir Putin, I'm so sorry that I was not your mother. If I was your mother, you would have been so loved, held in the arms of joyous light. Never would the stories plight the world unfurled before our eyes, a pure demise of nations sitting peaceful under a night sky. If I was your mother, the world would have been warm. So much laughter and joy, and nothing would harm. I can't imagine the stain.
Is she trying to fuck baby Putin? What's going on here? It sounds like she wants to fuck baby Putin.
I wish I could have. She probably does have a bad boy thing.
Yeah.
She just wants to. I wish I could have put my tits in your little baby mouth.
She just smothered you with the. I mean, it reminds me of a story.
Smothered all the hate out of you.
It reminds me of one of those stories where it's like, these stories where women, sometimes these mothers, these trying children will blow their child to calm them down. We told the story before. It happens.
This is not a thing where it's, sometimes women do this.
I've heard of
one crazy woman did this.
One crazy woman.
In your crazy parish that's full of, fetishists, guys who fetishize amputees.
I did hear of one other example. All right. Subsequently of telling that story of the woman who, was part of the church prayer group who confessed that she, I mean, I don't think she said I blow my son. I mean, but it was like, I think she said, like, I put his penis in my mouth because he won't stop crying, and it works. And I feel conflicted. You shouldn't feel conflicted about that.
No.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Find a different way.
Let him cry.
That can't be the only way to stop him crying.
Yeah.
That can't be. Is this the horniest baby in the world?
Now, look, there are actually controversial ways to make a baby stop crying that are kind of old school. Like some women have have done the thing where they put a little bit of whiskey in the baby's tooth.
Yeah, right.
Like that is so much better than putting your infant son's dick in your mouth.
You're implying that your son is just like the horniest baby in the world. Which is like, and babies can't be horny. I think that's a fact.
Yeah.
I don't think you can be the horny baby.
Yeah.
But this is like what they're imagining.
He's not crying because you just you made him catatonically depressed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Maybe you don't just like sit around your postpartum. Is it postpartum? Or postmortal?
Postpartum, yeah.
Postpartum funk watching, Rachel Ray.
Yeah.
Make a tostada. Maybe play with the baby.
Right.
Without your mouth.
Yeah.
But I did hear of one other story that was similar to that. So it's not just the crazy parish that I grew up in. Don't get your facts mixed up. Sick of it. Sick of being slandered by your.
So both women were like, I did it to make him stop crying.
That's what my understanding.
One woman wasn't just like, yeah, like my son's dick.
I mean, she didn't admit that. No, but this is the vibe I'm getting from her. Like that, like if
it's so the vibe I'm getting from her. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like she wants to fuck baby Putin. Like it's like Muppet Babies, but it's Putin babies, and she's like the nanny, and she watches Muppet Babies, and like she probably has those socks on right now. When you watch Muppet Babies, you see, the nanny character, but just from the legs, and she's wearing because she identifies as that.
Also, another vibe I'm getting from this is she is a pill of a daughter-in-law if she's married at all.
Oh god.
Like, because this is like, I don't know who Putin's mother was, but like,
well, Google Putin. Well, don't bother. We don't have hooked up the show, but look at you can Google. Just Google Putin as a baby with mother. Putin with mother as baby.
Putin with mother as baby. Putin baby with mother.
Play along at home. You can Google it. Look, look at this picture.
Yeah.
Even in this picture, he's held in his mother's bosom,
Yeah.
which is ample enough, and he looks like he's about to have her executed. he looks evil in this picture. He's an evil baby.
Yeah.
He's like Gummo or something.
Like the idea that it's like, oh no, yeah, and in Russia at that time, there's no other factors that could have hardened a person a little bit to the world.
Oh, in post-war Russia?
Yeah. It's like,
No. Yeah, what year? Look up what year Vladimir Putin was born. Let's see. Just type in Vladimir Putin. It'll come up as like DOB or DOB maybe. Go back to Google. There we go. What year?
all right. He was born October 7th, 1952.
Okay, so still basically born into the rubble of Stalingrad
Yeah.
and Leningrad. Isn't he from St. Petersburg?
Yeah, where was he born?
I think he's from St. Petersburg, which is Leningrad. I could be wrong about that. Did it say where he was born?
Yes, St. Petersburg, Russia.
It was known as Leningrad at the time. Do you remember
Yeah.
the siege of Leningrad where like 1 million people died? They referred to cannibalism. I think I don't know if his mother shoving her tits into his face could have compensated for that. Not trying to take any what's the word, responsibility away from Vladimir, but he might have been hardened by externalities that weren't revolved around your dumb pussy.
Yeah.
She thinks her also on top of that, she thinks her pussy stronger than Leningrad. The siege of Leningrad. No, but I know. Look, the siege of Leningrad wasn't happening. In case people want to get people get nitpicky about weird things, but I don't think they rebuilt the city in 7 years. I still think the stench of the siege. I'm just saying the people around him are probably a little hardened.
Hey, Putin, I know you were raised in a house made of corpses, but here's my pitch. What if I was your mommy wommy?
They're putting in a cannibal. Maybe the Soviets rebuilt everything in 7 years, and they got that Man in Black gun, and they gave her to to everyone, so they didn't remember the trauma. That he wasn't just living his little young life in a trauma society. That was like everyone just like. I mean, what do you think happens when you have a year-long siege or whatever it is? The Nazis come and and people are just going cannibal, and and everyone's starving to death. You think it just shuts off? Now we're fine. Let's have a baby, and we're gonna rock him like a bosom. She thinks her pussy's stronger than the siege. Yeah. She thinks her pussy's stronger than the KGB. I mean, the guy's in the KGB. He's fucking probably hooking up car batteries to people's testicles and tits.
Yeah.
And you think it was his idea? I mean, some of it he improvised probably.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
yeah, what did she envision?
I can't do that, sir. My mom, she loved me too much.
What did she envision? Just like visiting him at the She doesn't even keep him from being in the KGB. She's just visiting him and bringing him like a bagged lunches.
Yeah, some fucking cold borscht.
Yeah. Borscht.
Here's your borscht and your apple fritter. Don't stab anyone in the eye today if you suspect them of being a rat. Or if they want rats for you. I'm not sure how the KGB worked.
She's like, I would have been a creative mom when I sent you to to school with a rock in your lunch pail. I would put little puns. I would leave little notes in there, and I would write little puns.
Well, what's the rock? Is that their food?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. So you think the Russians kind of just did like a pantomime thing where they didn't have food, but they would give you a rock and like you pretend you had food? That seems worse. That seems more trauma-inducing.
All right, a boiled shoe. Then.
Would they lick the
what terrible thing can you eat?
Well, you can't eat a rock. I mean, that's clear as day. You just can't. I mean, Are you picturing him chewing on a rock or licking a rock?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can lick a certain rocks for salt value.
That's true.
That could be. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
Can you really eat a boiled shoe?
I mean, I don't know.
People say that about starving people, right? They boil shoes and eat it.
They'll start eating their clothes.
I guess it is cow skin at some level, right?
Yeah.
Wow. So like boiled shoes is just jerky?
I think at a certain point you would just want to put something in your mouth and swallow it.
Well, people do start eating themselves at a certain point. Like prisoners who are like kept in like these towers of London kind of situations.
Yeah.
You know, like or locked away. They'll just start eating them themselves.
Yeah.
That's a strange calculation. I guess it's not really a calculation. Yeah. I guess you're a little delirious. You're a little hangry.
Yeah, it's like probably some combination of being hungry and then also you're alone in a tower, so there's no one to be like, hey, stop eating yourself.
Right. Although there are situations I've seen on like documentaries where multiple people doing it. So you would think the social contract would kind of be like, hey, I'll let you know when you start eating yourself and you let me when I start eating myself. Maybe we'll eat each other. Yeah. But no, they just see people just like, oh, Bobby, eating yourself? All right.
Nice.
Oh, is it good? Is it good? Maybe I'll try that.
There's one guy. Yeah. There's one of the three guys is just like looking at it. It's like a buffet, like where you don't want to be the first one to touch a buffet. Right. You're like, oh, when are people going to start eating themselves already? I want to dig in.
Hey, I don't want to be that guy, but yeah, my arm's not getting any fatter. You know, it's really now or never. It's not gonna get any juicier than it is right now. Look, if we're gonna start eating ourselves, why are we waiting until there's nothing left? I'm just saying that don't make no sense. Why not enjoy our last days? Making light of people starving to death. Nice.
Should we listen to more of this?
I guess a little more. I mean, I don't know if I can do too much of this.
Yeah.
Soul-stealing pain that the little boy you must have seen
God.
and believed, and the formulation of thought quickly taught that you lived in a cruel, unjust world. Is this why you now decide no one will get the best of you?
Why? Well, look, not to minimize the invasion of Ukraine, of course, but this would have been as appropriate as it is now when he was poisoning political dissidents with palladium. I mean, was that like that? Like as a mother, were you approving of that? It's just such what's the word? Grand, opportunistic, blatant opportunism.
Yeah.
I mean, this is her big break.
She definitely wants to fuck Putin.
Baby Putin.
Yeah.
I mean,
no one will get the best of you. That's like what you say when you're like, boy, like why? How come no girl can hold you down? Right. That's what she's saying to him.
You just can't follow rules, can you? Dear Vladimir Putin, so you're like kind of a rebel, huh? You kind of don't listen, you don't take advice from teachers, do you? What would you say if you were like trying to hit on a bad boy?
Yeah.
Like, pretend I'm a bad boy. Which I'm not. Sometimes I'm a bad boy.
You are sometimes a bad boy. How come no girl can get through to you, huh?
Because I don't like women.
Yeah, but
I think they stink.
Yeah, but maybe I'm a different kind of woman.
Well, you don't have a pussy.
You don't.
I'm just so used to my mother just shoving her fucking dumb tits and pussy on me all the time because she loved me so much.
Is that what she told you?
Yeah, she told me just like you know, I was in her like that. She just gave me all this eternal love. It was gross. I hate it.
Oh, you know what? I can understand that.
Yeah,
I'll leave you alone.
Cool. Yeah. We go invade Ukraine. Yeah, I think we're done with her. I don't know what was the like. What did she think was going to come from this?
I don't know.
Did she think they were be putting this on the Teletron or whatever, the Jumbotron in Ukraine Center?
Yeah,
It's like their equivalent of Times Square if they have one. I don't know.
I gotta say, it makes it worse that I don't know who she is.
I don't. Was she on Smallville or something?
That's like when I see
what's her name? Let me look her up.
AnnaLynne McCord.
Lynn.
Like when I see Gal Gadot singing Imagine, I'm like, this is just kind of a force of nature. This is what celebrities do.
Oh, she was on 90210 apparently. Is that her?
Oh, really?
She's in a little bikini there.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, I guess if that woman sucked off baby Putin. Is that her?
Yeah, I guess so.
It doesn't look like that anymore. I'm not trying to like neg on women who are anyway. But yeah, but the world, if you will, pay attention to me. You're reminding me of my mother.
Sorry, I'll surround you with light. Go ahead.
Thank you. The world seems to be united, against Russia in this moment.
Yeah.
Biden was quick to have a speech. Should we listen a little bit to Biden's speech?
Yeah, sure.
To hear what our great or comforting, not old as fuck president it comforted us in moments of war.
Yeah.
The United States speak. This is live coverage from the Washington Post.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Good
Was it
afternoon.
up in the shitter?
The Russian military
I would
has
respect
begun
that.
a brutal assault
Yeah.
on the people of Ukraine. Without provocation, without justification, without necessity, this is a premeditated attack. Vladimir Putin has been planning this for months, as we've been saying all along. He moved more than 175,000 troops and military equipment in positions along the Ukrainian border. He moved blood supplies into position
What's he talking
and
about?
built a field hospital, which tells you all you need to know about his intentions all along.
Blood, he moved. Look, I get the logic, I guess. Like, look, it wasn't a military drill. He had blood supplies ready, so that's all you need. It doesn't seem like the case you make, though.
Right.
Look, I mean, he's already invaded.
Right.
Like, he sent in tanks and,
Yeah.
troops. And he's going, look, you have blood supplies and the hospital. Tells you no. I think the tanks say that. I think the invasion says that. Not the blood. You have bags of blood.
Bags of blood.
He's going to
He's just
invade.
thinking of when he says blood bags. He's actually just talking about soldiers. That's what we used to call them, blood bags.
You got all these little young vital blood bags carrying guns. What? And see, we can be anti invasion of Ukraine. We don't like Putin, and we get dunk on Biden.
Yeah.
But these people who are using the invasion to dunk on. Oh yeah, look at they just won a war. I don't think that it's not as if there's a whole NATO expansion idea, which I don't know if we should necessarily expand NATO. It seems provocative, perhaps. But the guy did kind of set up a months-long buildup and then invade. All right? I don't understand the lack of nuance to anyone. You can dunk on Biden for being old as shit. What has he done? Did he install Marxism? What has he done? I'm just saying, he failed to get some stuff passed. Why these people hate? They should be trying to get him elected again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so good that he made a speech. Everything's fine.
Yeah, they could pass the most Republican bill ever.
Yeah.
And have a 50-50 shot of it getting it signed.
By him?
Yeah, just in case there's no one in the room with him and he doesn't know what he's looking at.
Or if he just knows what he's looking at.
Right.
I mean, this is not a guy. This
Good
is
point.
Biden's always like a war hawk and it's not exactly. And also, who isn't? Tulsi Gabbard, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Andrew Yang? I mean, he don't have power, but is Gabbard a senator? I forget.
What?
Is Tulsi Gabbard a senator?
Yeah, I think so.
Whatever, but not much. My point is, Bernie's not a war hawk.
Right.
Why he didn't win? You don't win, you're not a war hawk. War hawk. What is going on? Champagne break. 100 episodes. Thank you for sticking with us.
100 Kump.
Let's do a little 100 Kumps again. Mm-hmm. And we'll get some more, we'll talk some more. Have that I need it on a button.
100 Kumps. 100 Kumps.
100 Kumps. Anyway, would have been so good if it was finished. Yeah, so I mean, look, just in summation, Ukraine is fighting valiantly, it seems like, and they're putting up opposition. Hopefully, Russia doesn't amp it up. I mean, I'm not trying to like be down. I'm just saying like you would think Russia has some more, but like, their meeting is the point. And they fought to a point. If you believe anything objectively, which is hard, the whole theme of this show, it's hard to even know, not just this Ukraine situation, it's hard these days to know if anything's real. I mean, the invasion's certainly real. But I mean, like, but it would seem like the idea is that, Ukraine resisted more than people thought they would. Now they're going to have a meeting. I don't know if it's Putin and Zelensky. Is it Putin and Zelensky? It's someone in Zelensky, right? Zelensky is the prime minister or president, right?
Oh, yeah.
This meeting, I'm not sure if it's going to be Putin and him, but it's going to be someone. And they're going to have in Belarus on Monday. So it's like, maybe they make some kind of, it's like, there's a lot, they're doing a lot of sanctions. They're talking about getting Russia out of this SWIFT program, which is a banking thing. They're cutting off oil stuff. So, Russia might, it doesn't seem like Putin would. But that being said, it's not going great.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's talking to Russia. He turned down Belarus as the meeting place.
He did. Who did?
Zelensky.
I thought he agreed to it.
Probably a good move.
I thought he agreed to it. This might be old. What time is that?
Oh, maybe it is old.
Because he did say something about like Belarus. I remember him reading recently, but he said Belarus. Whatever. It's in flux. The point is, our thoughts and prayers are with Ukraine.
Yeah.
Let's hope it ends as peacefully as it can. Less bloodshed.
What also just annoys me, and I feel like more people I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating here, but it's like I feel like I've encountered people who are just kind of they don't seem to understand the basic concept of somebody wanting to fight for their country.
Oh, look,
don't go, no, they're not super happy about it.
We're beaten down. And honestly, with all I used to say there'll be no in America, in the West, whatever, but in America specifically, there'll be no resistance because we're too fat and satiated with gadgets and TV and all that stuff. I was saying it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I was surprised how much on both sides it seems like. You got, at least in Canada, but yeah, you have all sorts of people across the political spectrum, especially during the COVID thing, have gotten out there and gotten into confrontations with each other, with cops, burning stuff down, putting truck convoys everywhere. I mean, a lot more action than I expected out of us.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of shocking for people. You would think what's wrong about that? So I'm surprised that these people are now going why are they fighting?
Yeah.
It's what? I was maybe we do have some fight in us. It's I would just give up. I don't understand. And why don't you just leave? It's bizarre. It's
what if we went to Ukraine, right? If we somehow snuck in there,
yeah,
and we got some ragtag uniforms, and we approached a leader of some Ukrainian militia, and we were we want to fight with you,
right?
What do you think they would have us do?
Human shields. they would kind of shoot a hole through me with a mortar or something. Oh, that's too big. There's something that wouldn't kill me, and they would put their arm through me, and they would walk me around like a robot, and I'd be screaming, "Oh my God, this hurts! Don't use me as a shit!" And it would be kind of like Ed 109 or whatever from RoboCop, and they would have it would be a big burly guy, and he'd have two 50 caliber machine guns. I don't know if this is possible, BARs or whatever, and just shooting them. And I guess the reality is, they also probably have to melt metal onto me. They would because honestly, it's I'm fat, but I'm not gonna make all the bullets. So they have to kind of fuse armor plating onto me. I don't know why you would think they can just kind of put it around me like Iron Man, maybe make me an Iron Man suit. Right. But they're just melting. No, I know I sound like I'm making these Ukrainians into barbarians. No, but I would understand. They're in a jam, and I want to help the cause. This is how you help it. Mm. And so they're gonna melt copper or some alloy onto my body and treat me like a gun hand. I would be their gun hand. And that's you would I don't know, be a translator perhaps, even though you don't speak any other languages.
Yeah, I fake it till I make it.
Yeah.
But no, they probably just use me as a flagpole or something.
Use you as a flag? You're not tall. You're short as, what are you even talking
Flagpoles
about?
don't have to be that tall.
They're usually pretty tall.
I'd be part of a flagpole, a human flagpole.
Well, not like that. Look, my thing this sounds worse. I mean, it's one thing for that me to give my.
I'm saying that would be my suggestion.
Okay, yeah. And look, to be fair, the Ukrainians are going to be like, we're not doing either of those things. I mean, if you want to fight, well, he's a gun. I'll fight. But
Yeah.
we're not going to use you as a human flagpole or fuse metals onto you and blow holes through you and use you as a shield. That's not even strategically valuable. We don't know why you're here. You're actually wasting time. Go to the brig. They put is that the term, the brig, the jail. They put us in jail.
Yeah.
Just to keep us out of the way. But yeah, we're with you. So whatever extent that helps Ukraine, we're with you.
Yeah. We could do live podcasts for you.
From Ukraine?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
I mean, in exchange for protection
from who?
and maybe a rank. But yeah.
You're trying to turn this Ukraine situation into like a career change for you. You want to come out. You want to somehow come out of this. We're not even involved, but you want this Ukraine situation to end with you somehow being like in a position to like be a general at the end of it.
Right, yeah, like a symbolic general.
Right, but are you planning on like selling military weapons afterwards, like pilfering the country?
Look, if someone wants to buy weapons from me, I'm not gonna be like, I'd be silly to not at least explore like the option.
I mean, that seems very corrupt. That seems, yeah. I don't know if you'd be silly or you just have. I mean, we're complaining about people not want to fight for their country, and you're going like, look, I just want to get my foot in the door so I can illegally sell your weapons. I mean, that's what happened in the Soviet Union when it collapsed, and then,
Yeah, but I'd like sell them. I'd sell them through the podcast. Like,
what?
do you need Kalashnikov or whatever they're called?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they probably use those. I'm not sure.
Do you need a Kalashnikov? Well, you can go to kalashnikovs.com.
So somehow the least believable part of all of this is that somehow you have Kalashnikov.com. Yeah. That somehow you have control of Kalashnikov. I mean, Kalashnikov is a gun manufacturer.
No. They have control of the Kalashnikov people have control of Kalashnikovs.com. They're just kind of operating as a sponsor for the podcast.
So how are you selling the idea that we're talking about is you like some ex-Soviet general in the days after the Berlin Wall fell or whatever the Soviet Union collapsed, selling off weapons for your own profit?
Yeah, but I'm gonna update it.
But so I don't understand how Kalashnikov.com gets involved. Like they've already sold the weapons to the Ukrainians or whoever, and they're not involved. Like if you're selling off weapons,
this is a softer form of corruption. It's
not at all corruption. I don't know what you're doing.
It's mostly just podcast sponsorships.
How is that?
This is getting filled.
You don't need to be a general to be sponsored by Kalashnikov.com.
Yeah, but I want to be.
All right,
in general.
This is the weirdest corruption I've ever heard in my life. All right, well, good luck, Ukraine. We'll readdress this, as soon as we can. I don't know.
Yeah,
not good. I guess we should get to the Batmans.
Yeah.
You can see for a special 100 episode, we have a special spread of Batmans. These are from the Batman McFarlane 3 Jokers line of figures. We have over here the Batman, and then that's the Joker, the clown, that's the criminal. Now, all right, I'm going to explain this in a second. It's from this comic. I actually own a copy of it. So you can see there's 3 Jokers. Can you bring up a Wikipedia? Will probably come up. Just type in the 3 Jokers, because I was trying to give it a refresher. To remember exactly the plot.
Putin has been planning this for months, as we've been saying all along.
Was that Churchill?
Okay, plot of 3 Jokers.
It's basically, I mean, the idea is that there are 3 Jokers, but bring up, see if we can bring up the plot. Yeah. Just give the first paragraph description.
While having his crime-fighting injuries tended to by Alfred, Batman recalls the history of all his major physical scars left by his foes, including the Joker. He leaves to find the clown prince of crime. When he learns he has killed the last remaining members of the Moxon crime family.
Can you go scroll up. You went the plot. Just read the first paragraph. They give you the whole plot in paragraph form. Sorry, I mean to be mean, but
Batman 3 Jokers is an American comic book limited series published by DC Comics. It's a spiritual successor to Batman the Killing Joke and Batman A Death in the Family. The 3-issue storyline was written by Geoff Johns.
doesn't matter.
Geoff Johns.
Geoff Johns.
And illustrated by Jason Fabok and Brad Anderson. Blah, 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 blah. In 3 Jokers, Batman, Batgirl, and Red Hood follow a lead on the Joker, who appears to have been 3 different men all along.
I guess that's good enough as any. Yeah. Basically, it doesn't matter what. But there's 3 different Jokers. There's the criminal. Because the idea is that,
the criminal, the clown, and the comedian.
Right. Now, the reason I don't have all 3, I have the whole line. We opened. There were other. I have them in the box still, and I kept them in the box. I mean, normally I open these things as soon as I get them, but I kept these in the boxes. You know, we've been slowing down with the Batman figures. And by that I mean I've been slowing down with the Batman figures. And but yeah, I mean, these were cool. I thought this was a cool Batman. So I don't know. I have them in the box, but Walmart had an exclusive for the 3rd guy. We got, I think, the one from the Killing Joke. Because the idea is that, like, the Killing Joke Joker and, like, the Death in the Family Joker are different Jokers. There's 3 guys actually out. It's a weird flight of fancy. I think it kind of is a metaphor for, like, the different styles of the Joker or whatever.
Yeah.
But these bastards at Walmart. This is the only reason I hate Walmart. The only reason is because I had these on pre-order from Amazon, and they shipped them eventually. And Walmart, they just canceled it after like 2 months of not shipping it. So I'm sorry you don't have all of them, but you get the idea. It's nice. There's 3 different guys, and they're just doing shit. There's also a Red Hood figure, but I didn't want to like open them all. We'll do that later, another episode. But grab the criminal. Yeah, look at this guy. This guy is a weird looking guy. He's got a cane, and you can see his face. He's very.
Let me see him.
Very ghoulish. Grab the other Joker too. What was this? This is the.
Yeah, this guy's a little.
This guy's manic looking. He looks like a weird. And then the Batman's all muscular and he's got the yellow suit. But anyway, Miss Guess me thinking, what would be like the 3 Kumps? The Kump who spits would have to be one, right?
The Kump who spits. The drunk.
The drunk?
Yeah.
Drunk Kump. That's good. Yeah.
And
Kump in the closet.
I think there's a Butterburn Kump.
Butterburn. Oh, look. I mean, honestly, it might be more than 3 Kumps.
Yeah.
There's Gun Kump or Gun Hand Kump.
Gun Hand Kump. Yeah.
There's Coach to LeBron James Kump, who would threaten his family.
Right.
Remember, this is kind of, we're doing a little retrospective here.
Yeah,
Impromptu.
We got to it.
What else is there? There's bitch butter. What was that thing I had?
Numb Butter Kump.
Numb Butter Kump. What was Numb Butter? The idea that you would put it.
That was really just a product. I don't know if it's a whole persona.
Right. What was Numb Butter?
Numb Butter was something that you put on a. Well, basically, it was this thing that just like numbs you very well. But it was a controversial product because it aided a lot of rapes.
Oh, right. Yeah. People putting it on like bleachers and then raping people. And
right.
they didn't even know. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Go back in the archives if you haven't heard that one. I think it's called Numb Kump. I
think there's a Granddaddy Supreme Kump.
Oh, yeah. Well, Football Granddaddy Supreme Kump. These are all gimmicks. What would be there are different Lucies you could do?
There's Horse Lucy.
There's Horse Lucy. There's Socialist Lucy.
Socialist Lucy.
Business Lucy.
Business Casual Lucy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a Drunk Lucy too.
Yeah, well, definitely. Is there a Drunk Lucy? So yeah, I mean, I think this is a good. Now, it's fun. They're fun. We're gonna be cutting these up into reviews. These Batman figures going forward, like with all the old ones and stuff. We're gonna use them because I think I like the idea of introducing people to Kump via reviews that are very misleading. Let's just. I don't like being clickbaity for the sake of getting viewers, but right. I do like the idea of like taking all these insane conversations that we have. Like a lot of them seem to revolve around Carl Panzer, the serial killer. They're inspired by these figures, but then labeling them as action figure review. Because I'm sure you can imagine if you haven't looked already, there are plenty of action figure reviews on YouTube. So I like the idea. I mean, look, and I think our reviews are as comprehensive as anyone else's. We're not analyzing the resin work as much. Oh, look at the mold. I mean, we don't go that way. We go a different way.
We bring the figures to life is what we do.
And I think we review how whimsical you can get with it.
Yeah.
Which I think is more important. But I do like the idea of people looking like, I wonder what's up with this new criminal Joker figure. And like they click on us and just talk about numb butter. I think
or
like
that. They tune into a Robin one and then it's just like, I'm a bat. Woo!
Yeah. And so we might gain some viewers, but I think, I think
you can strangle him if you want, but you can't kill him because I have a code.
That's a good impression.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think we're going to feature this as a segment.
Yeah.
You know, because I think inevitably people are going to get mad. I think I say people are going to think these are the best reviews out there, and they're going to get aggressive with us, and we're going to have to take them to task. So that's going to be fun. So that's going to open up a whole new dimension of content for us and for you out there, which will also coincide. We're clipping. We made a clip channel. The episode's not over yet, but we made a clip channel.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Go subscribe to it. For now, we're putting some of the clips on the main feed. I know some people get ticked off. It's like, I've already seen this. Don't put the clips on the main thing. We need people to click on it so that new people can see the clip. No one was watching the clip when we put it in the clip channel because no one subscribed yet. Don't get mad at me. We're all in this together. We need 1,000 Kumps raises no boats. Wait, what? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Francis Ford Coppola is apparently spending $120 million to make a movie of his dreams. The movie of his dreams.
Ooh, didn't he? That happened before and it didn't go well, right?
Right, you know the same thing.
Yeah.
This is no one's again. Much like Condoleezza Rice, no one seems to be pulling him to task. Going like, didn't you try this already? Because the story goes, I think the studio financed Godfather and The Godfather 2. I think they were like, this sounds fine. And Apocalypse Now.
Right. How is Apocalypse Now not the movie of your dreams to make? Like,
I mean, honestly, I don't understand. I mean,
I made Apocalypse Now, but I want to make one for me.
Yeah. Is this going to be better than Apocalypse Now? I had a heart attack on it. That's why it was good. You almost died. If you died, it'd be better.
I want to make Jack.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you don't know the story, and like if I'm wrong, tell me. But basically, he put up his he put up his money for Apocalypse Now, and it was successful because it was a great movie, right? It worked out, and he got a little hubris. And so there's this movie. We haven't watched it yet. We should actually watch it and do a watch along with it for the Patreon.
Yeah.
But a movie called One from the Heart, which is basically about, as far as I understand, it's a movie about a relationship that's deteriorating. You know, it's kind of like two people and like they used to like fucking, now they don't. I don't know, something like that. And it cost $100 million back in the 70s. It was just a crazy amount of money for a relationship movie. And it had a lot of weird like camera effects and stuff and lighting effects. And it bombed. I mean, it might not have bombed like as bad as some movies have, but it was all his money. And so, or at least he put up he was liable for it. And so he had to spend the next 20 years or so making like Peggy Sue Got Married and a lot of horseshit movies.
Yeah.
Like Jack, with Robin Williams.
Right.
And so now he's finally got his wine. His daughter's making money. He's out of the hole. And he's just going to do, why? You're almost dead. Why not?
Yeah.
But I mean, is this going to be better than Apocalypse Now?
What is this like? Do we know what it's called?
No, I didn't bother looking into it much.
Yeah.
Maybe
it will be great. Like,
it's going to be terrible. I mean, what's good? The new Indiana Jones, the new Star Wars, the new Matrix. Nothing. The only thing good was Mad Max. What's his name?
Romero?
No, it's not Romero.
No, not Romero. But
yeah, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Great. So Coppola's out of his mind. And then the only little bit we're wrapping in the 100th episode up here. But we have one more new look. We're kind of contractually bound at this point to cover the royal family.
Yeah.
And I haven't read any of the details of this, but apparently Meghan Markle has won an NAACP award, which I think is fine. I think it's appropriate, right? It's a black organization, right? African American organization, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that's not exactly what happened. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have won it, which I find odd.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what for. I can't look. Am I wrong to think Prince Harry shouldn't get an NAACP award?
No. I mean, it's like, no, it's crazy. I don't think Meghan Markle should get it either.
Well, I was just I was doing it to make the point.
Yeah.
I don't know what she's done.
Like it's like
Well, she is the first black woman to become.
I get the idea behind it, but it's like, can't you just give it to someone who's doing activism or something?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, look, you could argue that like, well, she's the first black princess of England, but isn't that enough of a reward?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Like, she's not really. I don't know if she's. I mean, look, the Archie Well Foundation seems to be helping people. Perhaps I don't know. You know how I feel about these two. But the Archie Well Foundation. What is the Archie Well Foundation like? What's the first thing they say? The Archie Well Foundation.
Oh yeah, let's look at the website. This is their slogan, Archie Well. Shared purpose, global action.
This sounds like their Cobra Kai or not Cobra from G.I. Joe.
This is
what the hell?
This is the corporation of Michael Clayton. Like,
yeah. Each of us can change our communities. All of us can change the
world. I
just need a bunch of cops to follow me around England. I'll pay for it, but can someone please protect us? With the people trying to murder us. About Archie Well.
Archie Well, Greek word meaning source of action.
Don't give me the goddamn Greek origin of you.
What? This is hilarious. Archie, Greek word meaning source of action. Well, noun, a plentiful source or supply, a place we go to dig deep.
This is made with like fucking Squarespace.com. Yeah. This is terrible. Just give her the award. I don't care. We got to worry about Ukraine.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
They get a pass this week. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Let's do a toast. Here's to 100 more episodes of Kump.
100 Kumps.
We got a lot of new content. Well, it's just more content. But yeah, I think these new avenues are new things. We're going to have clips, which look, if you watch the episode again, you might not be that excited, but it's going to get out there. You can share it with your friends. You can go back and watch old clips and not have to watch old episodes the whole way through. You can go, oh, remember the number thing? We'll get that into a clip form soon. We're going to be clipping things. It's like a clipping. Where you clip, what do you clip in like nature? You clip balls. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so help do that. Sign up for the Patreon. You get extra episode every week for $5 a month. So that's a lot of fun.
Maybe we'll do a little special something on the Patreon too. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe this week might be a little. We'll see. It might be something special on the Patreon.
Yeah.
Might be worth checking. If you haven't checked out the Patreon, it might be worth checking out the Patreon.
Yeah.
This week.
Ooh, what a tease.
Yeah. It might be a little later, a couple of days later than normal because something special is happening. All right. So enjoy. Thanks for tuning in. And we love you all. And have a great week.